By a degree and a profession, I'm a MBA graduate from Singapore. So it's been quite a journey and quite a change from finance to wedding. My parents have always taught me to be strong and to just dream and live your dream. My upbringing was always free and they've never shut me down. They always encouraged my ideas and they used to talk to me about everything. And that has instilled a lot of confidence in me. Yeah, I guess when you're a business owner, you cannot be shy. Any business should have a great insurance in place, and each insurance is very customized to do a business that you operate. So for me, I think my last year of experience then taught me that, hey, I need to have more insurances in place.
Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey, the podcast where we share valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you listen to podcasts and be part of this journey. Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. Good day and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. And today we have with us Aanuu Naarang of Planning Paradise Events. Aanuu is a passionate and dedicated wedding planner with 5 years of experience in creating unforgettable celebrations. With a strong background in event coordination, design, and logistics, Aanuu has a true gift for bringing each couple's unique vision to life. Her expertise covers every detail: venue selection, vendor coordination, timeline creation, and day of execution, ensuring a seamless and stress free experience for her clients. What sets her apart is her commitment to truly understanding and reflecting each couple's individuality on their special day. She thrives on turning dreams into reality and brings creativity, organization, and infectious enthusiasm to every event. I can attest to the infectious enthusiasm as I know Aanuu personally. We've been friends for a while now, right, Aanuu?
Yeah,
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm so excited to be a guest on your podcast.
Thank you so much. So we met when I lived in California, and we were both expats.
Yes.
So we were part of a group of spouses that would meet quite regularly, and we became great friends and we did a lot of stuff together. So I've always very much enjoyed being around you. So it's a real privilege to have you on here and a real pleasure as well.
And the feelings are very mutual.
All right. And I remember when you told me that you were starting your business, and I was all so excited for you. And I'm so glad that we're here today talking about your business.
Thank you.
All right. Let's start with a segment we call Rapid Fire. So can you tell us two words that describe you? One that describes you now and one you would have used to describe yourself as a child.
I'm enthusiastic as right now, and I was carefree when I was a child.
Ah. Are you carefree now, would you say?
Uh, no, I think I'm more cautious now.
Ah, okay. What is the name of your business? And we talked about it in the introduction, but just tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. So I'm actually a wedding planner based in Austin, Texas. and my business name is Planning Paradise Events. I founded this company in 2021, and I've been doing weddings in Texas. I also do interstate weddings, but my primary focus is more into Austin and Dallas. I do all fusion weddings, and I take care of the design and the decor.
Great. And what were you doing before you started your business?
So earlier I was in the Bay Area. I am a finance, I was a finance analyst in Stanford University. And by a degree and a profession, I'm a MBA graduate from Singapore. So it's been quite a journey and quite a change from finance to wedding.
Right. And you do events planning full time or part time?
Right now I'm doing this business full time.
Great. So since you started the business, what's one of the best moments you've had in business?
So I actually did my 100 events last year.
Congratulations.
And that was, I guess, my 100 event incomplete, just not like not weddings but as a complete whole package. I reached this milestone on March 31st of last year, and I had a huge celebration party in April. And I'm a firm believer of empowering women, so there were a lot of women who came to celebrate me, and I guess that's exactly what I represent, and that's what I want to go forward with.
Great. That's amazing. And on the flip side of that, what would you say is one of the not so best moments that you've had?
Well, I experienced everything last year. So this in this particular segment, I was working for a client for 8 months, and I did everything I could. I went beyond, above and beyond my way to give them an excellent service. I guess they had a pretty great wedding, but in the end, I think maybe this was something I was also learning in a different curve. She didn't seem too happy, and the client didn't seem happy, and that was my first ever experience of client not being happy with my work. Generally, my work has been not criticized, but this was not criticized on terms of beauty or anything. They said the event was good, but they felt my contribution to their wedding was less. And as a result, I could not, even though I put so much of hard work and efforts, I could not post any of the wedding. I couldn't post anything from the wedding. So, which is basically, as a wedding planner, that's what we do, because social media and word of mouth is how I get my business. So it did bring my morale a little bit down.
Okay. And how did the two of you handle that, you and the client? How did you move forward?
So the thing is, I did try to reason with the client, and I did try to give her my explanation. But I decided then to just grow up and evolve in my business, and make sure that this kind of experience is something I can work on, evolve, become better for my future clients.
In every experience, there's always something we can learn from it. So it's good that you saw that part of it and that you've decided and you growing from that experience. And thanks for sharing that with us.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a book or movie that you'd recommend?
I've joined a book club, and their book recently that I really loved was The Lion Women of Tehran. And that's a pretty good book to read. I actually watched the latest movie which I watched was Thunderbolts. It's the new movie on the Avengers, so it's pretty good.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's get to the begin segment. Do you remember the first time you thought about starting a business?
Yes. When I moved to Austin, I took the plunge in 2021. I was like, let me just do my business. I didn't think so much about it. I just went into it. I just Googled how to create an LLC, and that's how I formed my LLC. And this was, I think, somewhere in April of 2021 when I started getting a few clients. They were asking me to do like wedding planning and event planning, and as soon as I started it, I just put my name and I started advertising. The only research I did was what is going to be the name of my company, what's going to be the logo, and that's all I researched, and that's all the designing and I did. I bought some stuff for my company for the decor. Yeah, and that's how I this idea was created in my mind. And I think I always had a natural knack for doing events and organizing so many meetups, which I know which we also did in back in the Bay Area. So yeah, that's how I got this idea and it just happened.
Yes, and I remember when you told me about it, I thought that was such a natural progression because, like you mentioned, it was something that you did a lot of. You definitely brought us together quite a bit while we lived in the Bay Area. So you're such a people's person. You're such a person that like always bring people together. So I was very happy to hear that you were doing that and you were actually, making it into a business. So definitely, you somebody I think of when they say somebody who's doing something that they're very passionate about because it's you. Events planning is you.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything in your upbringing you think that led you to where you are today?
My parents have always taught me to be strong and to just dream and live your dream. My upbringing was always free and they've never shut me down. They always encouraged my ideas and they used to talk to me about everything. And that has instilled a lot of confidence in me. Plus, I guess my parents allowed me to explore education overseas by myself. So that kind of cut any kind of fear within me.
Okay, great. And I know you said when you started the business, you looked into the LLC and you went ahead and you bought some things and you basically started.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you could remember so that somebody who was probably looking into wedding planning or just events planning in general, as they're maybe looking at that as something to get into, maybe they could think, okay, maybe I need to do this as well. Or is there anything maybe you hadn't done and you wish you had done when you first started?
I guess one thing which I probably didn't really think about was investing into making a website, which normally people do. But I was thinking maybe, because I was wondering that would that really help me to get more clients. Secondly, I feel like any business should have a great insurance in place. And each insurance is very customized to do a business that you operate. So for me, I think my last year of experience then taught me that, hey, I need to have more insurances in place.
Okay. And when you decide that you want to have the insurance, like what steps would somebody take?
So you have to call insurance provider, call them, let them know what is your company, what do you guys do. You should always have a certificate of insurance for every event you do. Every event you do, even though if it is an extra $200 or $300, just invest in it because it's something which is better for you. Because in terms of any kind of things that go haywire, at least that protects you.
Okay. So is it something where you get one policy and it covers your business, but then with every event you need an additional coverage? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So actually, each venue needs you to have a certificate of insurance, which is then it's kind of done under their name.
Oh, so you basically, it's not just you have to get it for that specific venue. That does that become more costly because it has to be for
But yes, so that cost is already in my package because I know that most venues I know that it is always going to be there, so that's the cost that I always absorb, and that's fine.
Okay, all right. So I think I want to know about your first client, but also let's start with your first client, and then I'd like to talk about venues. How do you become on that list? I know some places have a preferred list of vendors. So let's talk about your first client. How did you get that first client?
So I got my first two clients were on almost on the same date, and they were about birthday decorations, and that was May 22nd. I think it was the first birthday party for somebody, and then a second one was a decor for someone. So I went two places. I did the decor, and the second one was a smaller decor, but that's how I got it. And the journey has been beautiful because, oh my God, I had these butterflies in my stomach when I went and did those events, and I was like, oh my God. So that's how I got my two birthday clients. Then my first wedding client, it was a doctor. She hired me because they also just decided that they needed a planner, like maybe 2 months before their main wedding. So I was like, okay, let me do it. And then I was trying to find out the vendors for them, and I was trying seeking out the decor for them. So that was a pretty interesting experience, and it was actually a pretty good wedding. So
That's great. So the two birthday decorations, where did you meet those people?
So how it happened was, I as soon as I decided that my LLC was formed, and I just started putting in all the groups on Facebook. I started posting about my company basically in all WhatsApp groups that I'm connected to here in Austin. So from there, I think I got an approach.
Okay, and the wedding clients, the doctor, that clients also came from those groups.
Yes.
So it sounds like the Facebook groups are actually very powerful.
Yes, I think for marketing, if you are in groups that is to your, maybe it's among the community and there are so many wedding groups. So I posted everywhere. I posted in the wedding groups. I also posted in the community groups that I'm a part of. And I went and told all my friends. I posted on my own Facebook page. So and I started advertising a lot on Facebook, on social media.
Oh, okay. And from speaking with different entrepreneurs, I know one of the difficulties is actually telling people about what they do from the very beginning. So it looks like that was not a problem for you. You went all out and started telling people, and that was actually good for business.
Yeah, I guess when you're a business owner, you cannot be shy.
Yes, that's for sure. And tell us about the vendors. How do you meet the people you want to create those partnerships with, and also the venues? How do you get on those lists of preferred vendors?
So honestly, for the vendors, I was just lucky that I ran into a very few people who, in the very beginning, when I connected with somebody for getting out like chairs and tables, when I called them, they actually told me that, hey, they have, other vendors whom they could connect me to. And that's how I got the other vendors. Now, for your second question about the venues, so I went out and researched like all the venues basically based in Austin. And there are some specific areas where those venues are always sought after. So I started approaching, I went to their open houses, I started getting my business cards, I started introducing there. And I would just go and I would shoot emails to the venue owners that, hey, that I'm starting a new company. Can I come in? Can I showcase my work to you guys? So whenever they had open houses, I would just showcase my decor. So I would just be able to do some kind of thing. And I always looked into sponsorships for events. So I started doing that. So that's how I did.
Tell me more about sponsorship for events. What do you mean when you say that?
So I have done public events, whereas like those are mainly like, that if you want to do kind of like a community event. It could be Halloween, it could be fall event, and that's where you sponsor. You say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna give. Hypothetically, I'm just gonna say, okay, I'll provide the tables and I'll provide the gifts, and or I'll do the backdrop for free. So that's how I. That's called like basically sponsorship in kind or sponsorship in money.
Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation. Ah, okay. So that way people get to see your work and they know who to call when they need somebody to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us, what is the story behind your name? How did you decide on your name?
So I was looking at various names, and this just came to me because I love planning and I love like doing events. Now, paradise is something for me. I'm all about magical kind of thing. I'm a unicorn person. So I want to believe in it that there is always magic to these events. And that's how I came up with the name.
Okay, great. And so when it comes to building, I know starting the business was a bold move,
Yeah.
but is there any other big or bold move you can think of when it comes to your business?
So when it comes to business, the bold moves are you are willing to take risk. My risk obviously was when I took my first client for the wedding. Even I got to learn more things because what is the requirement of venue and what exactly happens? What is the timeline? How do I work with different vendors? That's a bold move because because people always ask me this question, do you have experience? Do you have experience? And I said, you know what? I have what I have been doing. I was very truthful to them that this is perhaps my first wedding in Austin. And that was the truth. So if you are asking me as a professionally, it was a bold move, obviously, because I decided to do it without really a lot of prior experience. So yeah, that was my first bold move. But I think all businesses start with bold moves. I think just sleeping on an idea is not going to get you anywhere.
For sure. And do you have a team that helps you with all of this work?
Yes, I have a big team. So I have a team which is takes care of the decor, and I also have a social media team now that helps me with advertising. So yes.
So how did you go about building that team?
So I worked with a couple of vendors, and then I posted that I'm looking for some people to hire them, basically because I needed more help, more hands on the wedding. And I connected to some people. They're like, okay, they're available. And then it seems like we met their friends as well, and they said they are also interested. And that's how I developed the team.
So it sounds like networking is huge when it comes to your business.
Yes, networking and your presence and being active is also pretty important.
Hmm. When you say being active, what do you mean by that?
I guess like being active is about being in posting social media, or at least being always being in touch with the vendors, trying to reach out that, hey, if there's any work or anything, just reach out to me, and posting more actively on social media groups. Hey, this I'm very, very active on Facebook groups, so that when I see a bride has posted or a groom has posted that they're needing a wedding planner, I immediately get on it.
Hmm, nice. So that's it sounds like that's how you continue to grow your client base. Definitely through Facebook, through keeping in touch with the vendors. Basically telling everybody about the business. Are there any other ways you'd like to highlight as ways that you grow your client base?
That's how I grew my client base. I reached out on all. So I basically initially I started doing advertising on a website called The Knot, and The Knot basically helps you to get clients. Then I also advertised on Thumbtack, but Thumbtack was not. It was okay, I guess, but that's where I started beginning my advertising there. Then I advertised on Facebook, Instagram. So that's how I started.
Okay. And when particularly Facebook and Instagram, when you say advertise, do you mean like your regular post or do you actually use
I paid for it.
Oh, okay. And you think that works out very well?
Yes, because I mean, if you know what prompts you have to do, what criteria you want to do, and what kind of clients you're reaching out. So at least when people are trying to say, hey, we are trying to find a wedding planner, they will try to get somebody, at least your company name will pop up.
Okay. All right. So as you grow the business, I know there is the when it comes to the finances, there is money coming in, there's money going out. So how do you manage all of that?
So I have an accountant team, and that's where I start to look at what is coming for each wedding. I know exactly where I'm spending my money at, whether it's for the logistics or whether it's for paying the vendors, or it's paying for the decorations, or it's making sure that we have to travel for my gas. So there are multiple things that you have to take care of. But I have basically I do have a program and an accountant who takes care of it.
Okay. And how important would you say it is to have an accountant? Just full disclosure, I'm an accountant myself. So I always like to find out from entrepreneurs how important they think it is to have
I think it is, I think it is kind of very important, because there are things that if I didn't have an accountant I would have not known. So I feel like when we do our taxes, it's good to have a person, an accountant who has the knowledge.
great. All right. And when I know with building, there's also struggles that comes with that. Is there one thing in particular that you'd like to highlight as one of the things that's probably been a bit of a struggle for you in business?
I guess one part of the struggle in business is sometimes to get business, right? Because it's, let's face it, business is not everyday fixed income. So there are seasons when it's really, really busy, and there are times when it's not. So what do you do then with your ideal time when it is not busy? That is the time then I utilize my old events, and I post pictures, and I make sure that I am recirculating everything that I have. But that's the worry in the back of my head, that, hey, now I need to get more clients. So, yeah, in business, I think that is one of the things which we have to constantly do is you have to keep getting clients. It's not your fixed clients, or it's not your fixed income.
And I know you mentioned social media. What do you think works the best for you on social media? Because I know you said you basically use photos from past events and you put that on there. What are the strategies you think has worked?
So I usually post it regularly. I connect with everybody, and I do a lot of community events. So that has helped my social media presence. And social media presence is just not about your business. It's also about your opinions on everything, on certain fun topics. And I also do a lot of women events, which then I kind of I make sure that the people are tagging me everywhere also. So yeah, that's how I create my presence.
Yes, tagging you is important, of course, because you get to leverage your network and their network
Right.
and their followers. So that's great. Okay, so let's talk about blossoming in business. What do you say keeps you motivated?
For me, I think to work with clients and to get them to achieve their dream, their vision, and to bring it all together, that excites me. To, to see a couple's planning and their dream coming into reality, and just being a part of it makes me feel so happy. I've also got to experience different cultures because I'm working in with very diversified group of clients, and I've also done fusion weddings. So I get to see different elements, different even within you get to you and there are so many interstate and intercaste weddings that you kind of learn from there. And these they are fusion weddings, so you get to see different cultures of people and how to bring it together. That excites me.
So you mentioned intercast
Yeah.
and fusion, and was that interstate you said?
Yeah, so intercaste, so basically I think the fusion weddings would be the appropriate word. The fusion weddings would be because a lot of people are, and just Indians and Indians, for example, are just not marrying Indians only, they're also marrying different people. And so that I think has helped me because I also get to learn different cultures. And for example, I did a Jewish and a Gujarati wedding, and it's so funny that how the customs are somewhat similar but yet different, and that's the beauty of bringing it together.
Now I'm very curious. Is it something where you have to research what the customs are, or is it that when you speak with the couple that you ask enough questions to determine what it is you need to incorporate?
I do both. I also feel when couples sign you, you also get to learn more about them when you are interacting with them. So I definitely ask them more questions that, hey, how are we incorporating? What are we doing? But in the very first round of when put a client on board, I ask them all these questions generally because I want to know what exactly we are doing, and I want to make sure I can execute it as well.
So let's say a client has reached out to you now. So they sent in probably an inquiry, maybe through your Facebook page or through your website. Because you have a website now, right?
My website is in process. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's say they find you some way and then they reach out to you. What happens next?
I get the inquiry and then I see on my calendar whether I have that date available. Once I confirm that I have the date available, I respond to them that, hey, thank you for the inquiry. And yes, I have the date available. Then I send them a brochure of my pricing packages. And I, of course, even when they're coming in, I ask them questions like, how many people are there for your wedding? What is your expectation? Are you just looking for coordination, or are you also looking for design and decor, or are you just looking for a full wedding planning service? So I ask them multiple questions to figure out whether the client and I are both the right fit for each other or not.
Okay, great. So talking about we talked earlier about what keeps you motivated. What does success in itself mean to you?
For me, I think when I'm happy, I'm able to live my life the way I want to. That is success for me. When I can take a break for me when I want to, when I don't have to keep running after everybody, that's success for me. When I'm internally happy, my health is good, my family is good, that's success for me.
Great. I love that. And like they say, health is wealth, right? So all right. So that takes us to our closeout segment. And I'd like to find out if there are about three tips you would like to share with our listeners.
I would like to say, first of all, to all the listeners out there, thank you. My tips would be just, don't let any doubts creep in. Because one thing which I've learned in my business journey is there are many doubts people start going in. Is this a business going to be successful? You will never know until you start. And over analyzing everything sometimes kind of dampens your spirit up. So just go with the flow. It's okay. You learn things along the way as well in business, I feel. Secondly, have faith in yourself and be very disciplined, because if you have a good routine and if you are mentally disciplined, that structure will give you success, and that structure would be your foundation for your own business as well. So, yeah, that's what I would give tips.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So, can you give us your ways that people can reach out to you, your social media handles as well?
Sure. So my phone number is 408-805-2471, and I'm on Instagram handle. And you can just go with my @AANUUNAARANG Narang, and then @ the Planning Paradise Events. You'll be able to get me on the Insta handle. And I have a page as well, Planning Paradise Events, on the
Okay. Thank
Facebook.
you so much. All right.
Thank
Talk to you
you.
soon.
All right. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for listening to Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. We hope today's conversation gave you the insights and inspiration you need to move forward on your own path. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. Do you have feedback? We'd love to hear from you at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com. Join us again next week for a new episode.